Although they're okay to eat in moderation, I think us as a group of college students should know the risks that they contain. College is one of the hardest times to find or even make a nutritional meal. Convenience tends to be the deciding factor of what we eat. This could lead into a routine of laziness, tiredness, or even sickness. That's why a lot of college students are sick all the time. As a nutrition major here at Cal Poly, I hope to find a career that can find a solution to this problem, because it is becoming an epidemic. The behavior of college students consuming highly processed foods should be substituted with whole food alternatives. I will first begin by discussing the consequences of processed foods on the body. They have a negative impact on both physical and mental health. So processed foods are defined as foods that have undergone a lot of processes to get to their end result. So this includes fortification, cooking, and even baking. I know you all have heard that cliche statement of bring your ramen to college. That's a perfect example of processed food. Here are some other examples. As you can see, there's Lunchables, fruit roll-ups, and Teddy Grahams, just snacks found in your local grocery store. So most of these are found in vending machines, and a lot of that has to do for convenience purposes. In a study called Nutritional Value of Foods Sold in Vending Machines by Hanla Park, published in 2016, showed that most foods available in vending machines in this UK university were of low nutritional quality. So they concluded that a lot of the macromolecules found in these types of snacks increased fatigue and laziness, and had a lot of high saturated fats and just added sugars. So vending machines encourage the substitution of snacks for meals, which doesn't get our bodies enough nutrients considering we're on the go all day and always studying for tests. Another study on the correlation between food behavior and campus food purchases by Jennifer Pelletier gave insight into how young adults exhibit some of the poorest dietary habits of all age groups, including frequent fast food consumption and low rates of adherence to national dietary guidelines. So they found that people who bought food on campus a lot also bought a lot of fast food. It also showed correlation to skipping breakfast, which again isn't healthy for the body. So this issue doesn't just pertain to first years, it's basically anyone who comes across food chains on campus and has the availability to eat them. Now that you have learned about the consequences of processed foods, I will move into how whole foods are definitely a better substitute for your body. So whole foods in general just aid with mental clarity and an overall well-being. They are defined as simple foods, so this could be your everyday fruit and vegetable or whole grains and legumes. Here's an example of whole foods. You can see there's like grapefruit, oranges, and beans. In an article by Adam called Nutritional Psychiatry, published in 2019, says that recently a systematic review combining a total of 21 cross-sectional studies provided compelling evidence that a Mediterranean diet can confer a protective effect against depression. So mental health and diet are directly correlated, and basically what a Mediterranean diet is it's completely based off of whole foods. So there's a lot of like lean fish, beans, vegetables, and fruits. And these types of foods give your body the full nutrients it needs, and it directly aids your brain in like function and just its overall composition, because they directly get like the lipids and proteins that your brain's made up of. Us college students, we really need this because again, we're always on the go and we're working all the time, and I feel like we're always just energy deficient. So yeah, a Mediterranean diet is kind of the way to go. They also have displayed prevention and healing with cardiovascular disease. An article called Evaluation of Cardiovascular Outcomes by Morin, published in 2019, says that an ideal diet for CVD prevention contains unlimited intake of various plant foods and a reduced intake of animal and highly processed foods. So whole foods are absent of a lot of saturated fats, just added sugars. And a lot of the time what clogs our arteries for heart disease are those saturated fats. And also bad cholesterol is typically absent as well. So in order to eliminate the consumption of processed foods in a college diet, there must be multiple ways that we can easily approach this and substitute whole foods. So I'll now discuss some ways directly on Cal Poly's campus where we can get some whole foods. The first program is CalFresh. There's a contact information up there if you want to take a picture. And on CalFresh's website, it says that it's defined as a federally funded supplemental nutrition assistance program that provides money to eligible students on an EBT card, similar to a debit card, that can be used at grocery stores or farmers markets to help students in access enough food quality. So one of the main factors of why people purchase processed foods over whole foods is cost. Like, it's a huge deterrent. Typically, whole foods are a lot more expensive than processed foods, but CalFresh is a valuable resource because they'll have booths on Dexter Lawn where you can go and get free to almost like no-cost produce. Their goal is just to basically help students with food insecurity. Another similar program is the Cal Poly Food Pantry, and there's information up there again. And they also provide free produce, and they also have a no questions asked policy, so you can go in, give them your ID number, but you can just take basically any amount of food you want, and they won't ask any questions. And again, their aim is to help with food insecurity as well. A third strategy is just to check your ingredients list on your snacks, because a lot of the time processed foods will have a ton of added chemicals to them, and if you don't recognize the name of what's in your food, then it usually is processed. So with the immense stress that is put on the college students during their time at school, a healthy diet should be readily accessible to them. College is a huge transition, and having one's well-being at a great state is definitely necessary in order to get through it. One of the first steps into improving a college diet is stepping away from packaged food and using that whole food alternative. So the next time you see a pack of Oreos or a box of Pringles, I urge you to grab the whole food. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go